Hello, lacrosse friends. Welcome to the 2023 Baggataway Cup Championship. I'm Stephen Stamp, joined by Jeff McKinley. Thanks for being with us here on Lacrosse TV as we bring you this exciting final action from Justin Chu Stadium on the campus of Trent University along the banks of the beautiful Otonabee River. It is the Western Mustangs and McGill Redbirds. The Mustangs, the #1 seed in the West, wearing their purple, going left to right. They were 9-1 in the regular season. The only loss came at the end of a 3-game weekend that included a 22-hour return bus trip. That's right up to Laurentian?
Yeah, that's probably what it takes
Something
to
like
get
that,
there
right?
and back.
And
a long one.
Yeah, and the McGill Redbirds finished third in the East, and they have fought their way through as underdogs, and they are loving the underdog story. So today will be very fascinating. Western, arguably the best defensive team in the history of this league.
Oh, tremendous job yesterday, shutting teams down. Played as a unit. These teams have played twice before in the final, and McGill was victorious both times. So I'm sure the Western Mustangs are looking to start a new stat after today.
They absolutely are, and they haven't forgotten those games. I can assure you. I was talking to some of the coaches beforehand, and they very much remember those. Remember those things that happened. In particular, they've got Brendan Chess, who played for Western. He said, I remember very much. They beat us here.
Yep, 2012, yeah.
7-6 in overtime. He knew everything about it. He remembered it all with McGill winning that one. That was a pretty chilly day 11 years ago. It is cool, but pretty nice here. About 8 degrees Celsius, which is mid-40s, I would say, Fahrenheit.
Sun is shining, though, making it a little bit warmer.
Yeah, it's beautiful out. And McGill, as they have done so often, starts with possession. Sam McDonald has been spectacular. It's going to be fascinating to see him and Aiden Colbrook in the face-off battle. And also fascinating, Western is such a good defensive team. There's Rowan Burrell. What will they do with him? We saw him absolutely tear it up this weekend, especially after their leading scorer, Dylan James, who had 40 points in the regular season, went out early in their first game Friday with an aggravation of a previous hamstring injury.
Yeah.
And Burrell scored 6 goals in that game. He had 4 goals yesterday in their semifinal win. He has been fantastic.
Yeah, anytime you're putting up 10 goals in 2 games, tremendous help to your team. We saw Mark Simon with the ball there at X come in to replace Dylan James. He had 3 yesterday, so doing his part.
Such a different approach. Here's Josh Jewell handing it off to Burrell. And you can see immediately that they get Landon Mass out there on Burrell, and he strips him. It looked like Burrell was heading to the net, but the ball was behind him.
Western scoops it up, heading in transition.
Taking off is Chaz Leonard Bedier.
A little bit of a game plan change up there. We saw a lot of 2-man games yesterday where the Redbirds cleared out there to see what Burrell could do 1v1. And like they did yesterday, Western had a slide ready to go, and they were able to collapse and transition down the field.
A lot of Western's power comes through their power trios, we've been calling it. Trademark Jeff McKinley. That is Jacob Hickey, number 12 here, and number 4 is Chris De Silva. Over on the far side, or actually in the middle there, is Chris Dong, number 45. The 3 CUFLA West all-Canadian midfielders. We don't think it's ever happened that 3 players from one team have been the 3 guys in a position group for the All-Canadians, but you can see why after you watch them for a little bit here. And here comes De Silva. He had 5 points yesterday. He's going to give it off quickly. And Dong, who was the player of the game for Western, also with 2 goals and an assist, but fantastic two-way play.
Shot clock winded down here. Western will look to get a shot.
Going to be down on the ground, and Joseph Beam whips out to get that one, and a quick pass across, but that will get out of play. Maybe a little bit rushed trying to get it to Ryan Badur.
And Western did a fantastic job yesterday on the ride. You'll see those attackmen just buzzing around, creating pressure, and big turnover there to get the ball back to the purple.
Toss it back up to Dong. He goes to De Silva, and this midfield again establishing the attack.
Be interesting to see what McGill runs today. We've seen them switch up from man-to-man to a couple types of zones here this weekend. what the coaches had game planned after watching the attack from the Mustangs yesterday against the Badgers.
Yeah, they love to go to that zone. There's a save by Beam on the shot by Dong, and Western will get the backup. Dong will start with it once again. Dong reminds me a bit, just the amount and the way he plays, of Nick Tchaikovsky, who is a
tremendous force,
dominating force here for Trent, and just that he can go and be so effective at both ends of the field. You see guys who are good at both ends, but usually have one end where they're better, and I don't know which end you'd say Dong is better at.
Yeah, he's just a complete player. Yeah. You can have that at both ends of the field as a midfielder. It makes it very difficult for other teams.
Jacob Hickey with some nice moves, but well watched. That is Louis-Antoine Abb, number 18 for McGill, staying with Hickey. He's the short stick D-mid who has been fantastic for them. Really disruptive on the faceoffs. But here's a chance, another save by Beam, turning Dong aside.
Big save there.
And Western, as a unit, they come back into that ride so effectively. They get to their places. They pick up. You can see they have a spot of the field. They pick up the guy near them. And here's McGill. They do manage to break it. Burrell breaks ankles to get underneath, but he misses just wide on the near side. Michael Orlando, the starting goalie for Western, was racing back, but already Isaiah Cree was back there to get the backup for McGill.
Good heads-up play by the goalie there, Michael Orlando, to try and get the ball, but Isaiah Cree had beat him there. Western will be back on their heels again on defense, see what they set up. Try and keep it.
We're going to share Michael Orlando's story of his career here at Western during the course of the game. It's a pretty remarkable story, really interesting stuff. But he is looking, as I said, to bookend his 5-year career with championships. He was their starter back in 2019 as they finished up a run of 4 straight championships.
Yeah, with 5 final appearances in a row as well.
Yeah, they were pretty good, and they're pretty good again. Not that they had a huge lull in between.
No, you often see the perennial powerhouses of Western, Brock, and Guelph in that West Division.
There's a spinning shot taken there, but just a little bit wide by John Moralia.
Only 3 seconds on the shot clock here.
They're trying to get one off. It's on the backside of the net. Not much chance for Mark Simon. We talked about the stylistic difference between Simon and Dylan James. And here's a great run, blasting up by Sam Vanderzom. He's an SSDM for Western. They just have such depth in midfield. I mean, he's a guy who would probably play a lot more in the offensive zone for many teams. But I mean, you've got guys like Jacob Hickey here, who's a first-round NLL draft pick by Georgia.
And Vanderzom just very calmly went through a double, then triple team.
Yeah.
Get the ball into the offensive half for his squad.
Little roll pass up to Hickey. Roll pass is being used a fair bit more on Friday when it was super windy. It's actually relatively calm today. There's a bit of a wind, but nothing too bad. Here's Hickey again, rolling across the top.
Gill doing a good job of keeping them outside.
Yeah, nice job by Lorenzo Costello all over him. Great backup there by Max Brook to get that ball. Comes to Connor Murphy, the All-Canadian for Western, but pretty quiet yesterday.
It sees him with a short stick today, and he's able to make a play.
Sets up Max Brook for the finish, and you know they're so dangerous because you pay so much attention to those midfielders, and then you've got Connor Murphy, an All-Canadian attack, just running fairly loose.
And he put up a ton of points in the regular season. He's a playmaker. See right there, gets knocked down on the slide there, and willing to pay the price to set up his guy for a big goal there.
Murphy with 22 goals in the regular season, added 13 assists. Western probably the most balanced team at this tournament in terms of their scoring.
Absolutely. We saw 2 goals from, I think, 4 players yesterday.
Yeah.
Tougher team defenses to prepare when you're that balanced. And we talked about this before the broadcast, just this face-off battle, what it was going to look like today. Mm-hmm. McGill ends up getting possession on a call there, but we've seen not as clean of face-off wins, more battles from the wing play afterwards.
That's where Louis Antoine has been such a factor, like just blowing things up when the battles are extended. But I mean, Western's got a bunch of guys who get after it as well, so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I think the consensus, Western clearly a favorite, a 9-1 team, substantial advantage in goals for and goals against on the season. We've said maybe the best defensive team ever. And there's Vanderzam, who's just another factor in that defensive group. But, McGill, a third seed team, and they've got a couple of their top players on offense out. I mean, everything points Western, but that's why they play the games. McGill feels like they've pulled upsets in both of their other games here.
Absolutely. Baggataway Cup weekend lacrosse. Seeing some physical play, too, out of these Western defenders. They got some big boys back there, and I think Mass was letting Burrell know that this is coming all day.
Yeah. You've got John Gregg back there we've barely mentioned. He was an All-Baggataway Cup team member back in 2019 or 2018.
Yeah, he's been in the league a while. Big contributor for the Mustangs.
They go to the far side, and Dong, quick move down, stutter step. Nice hustle out there getting on him by Badur, but he gets around, and Dong will toss it back up now. Cardiff.
Quick slides here from the McGill Redbirds. Isolating the short stick here.
That's a long slide there from Logan Glick.
Western backs it up. They'll have about 15 seconds on the clock here. Oh, referee switched it up. McGill ball.
Beam starts with it and comes to the near side. Here's John Meeks. Had a very strong tournament.
Jack Kersey doing a great job on the ride. Look at him, 47, just buzzing around the field, trying to force a turnover. So hard for defenses when the attackmen are moving like that.
Yeah, and getting just with the sense of where to be in terms of enough pressure on them that you can't just sit around. And you've got 20 seconds to get across. You got to get moving, but also back far enough to take away some passing lanes. Yeah, they just Western moves so well. You do have 20 seconds to get across center among your 80 seconds on the shot clock. Resets go to 60 if you have possession. Get a shot that's stopped and you get it back. From behind, Simon. Big collision with with Michael Wilson. That low to high from Isaiah Cree is going to get all the way down and, hit the fence. I thought it was going over the fence and across the road. We do see a ball take off once in a while.
I'm sure there's many hiding over there.
Just looking across the field, I see the Western bus parked along the road right behind the McGill bench. And somebody put a photo up of the Western bus parked behind the Brock bench yesterday and said, I'm sure it's just a coincidence that they're parked right behind the bench.
Superstition.
Yeah. Conspiracy theorists get very active around championship times. Nice job by Erbstein to fight through that check, get it off there to Moralia. His shot was deflected away, though, and it will be Western possession. Was the shot clock running out there? Or are they just saying it was
Western doing a good job of really closing out on the ball there.
Yeah, that's one thing we've talked about. Rowan Burrell in particular has stepped up and played such a huge role, but he was given so much space, it felt like, in their previous games, and you're seeing right off the bat. We said he's not going to, we were talking beforehand, he's not going to have that space, and it is not there. He's going to have to create today.
I see a lot of off-ball movement probably coming from the McGill Redbirds just to give their shooters some space, especially with those quick slides coming.
And it's tough with Dylan James, their top scorer, and Massimo Tuvette, both out, both lefty attack guys. So you just don't have a lot of lefties out there. You'll see McGill with 5 righties in the offensive zone a lot. There's a hard rip from Hickey. It's well off, and he's looking a little uncomfortable. Kind of stretched a bit after the shot.
Quick spin there from Kersey. Trying to get the defenders to commit. Drop a quick pass.
Dong with the hesitation move, gets a shot that goes wide, and Kersey will pick up the ball to start with possession again. 14 seconds on the shot clock for the Mustangs. 4 15-minute running time quarters, 30-second stop time at the end of the first 3. There's another save by Beam. He's got to get ready for the rebound. He can't he didn't know where it was, and it actually rolled over. They're going to call a crease violation, I think, on the player off away from the ball who'd landed in the crease.
Big no-goal call there.
Yeah. Nice job by Ab to blast his way up into the offensive zone.
Yeah, he's a Mack truck when he gets running. He just drops the shoulder and keeps moving.
Yep.
Gill's got just under 90 seconds here. We'll see what they can set up. Still have a defender in the offensive half. They'll look to get a shorty out there.
They will slip him up into the offense there. That's Luke Dawick joining the last one. Here's Isaiah Cree.
You're looking to beat this guy underneath.
I think we have a timeout. Oh, there's a flag. Oh, we have a penalty coming. It's going to be a procedure call.
And we'll see what the Redbirds are able to draw up here. Cree changing. Not sure what's going on there.
Yes.
He's been on their extra man offense all weekend.
Yeah. They've got Jewel out there, number 32, and this is Moralia, number 22 at the top. And then Simon, 21, is down low. They have another lefty out. That's Dawick taking part.
Western packing it in. Shot on net there from Burrell. Big save by Orlando.
Orlando very impressive yesterday because he didn't face a ton of shots, but when he did, he was ready, and he made some great saves. Dong down, and the shot by Cardiff, that one's wide. It'll be Western maintaining possession. You know, yes, it's a one-goal game here. The first quarter is going to end because there's only a second to go.
But that'll be a possession to start. Zelski, good job after the transition there, backing the ball up as Will Cardiff just shot it wide.
All right, that will do it for 15 minutes of play here in the Baggataway Cup Championship. It's a tight one. Western 1, McGill nothing. I'm Stephen Stamp with Jeff McKinley. Thanks for being with us here on Lacrosse Network, on Lacrosse TV. We will be back in 2 minutes. Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the 2023 Baggataway Cup Championship game. I'm Stephen Stamp with Jeff McKinley. This is Western and McGill. Western up 1-0 over McGill, and I think the consensus is Western, and we talked about they're the favorites. It should be a good battle. Yesterday, when they played Brock, it was 2-0 after the first. Mm-hmm. Then it was 4-0 after the second. Then it was 6-0 after the third. They just kind of eat away at you. And this is a big one, a great face-off win there. That was actually not their normal face-off guy, though, that was taking that for Western. That's an intriguing one, as they sent Liam O'Dwyer in to take it instead of Adrian Colbrook.
He clamped it clean there, too. That was a
ripped
clean
it
back. We haven't seen that much against McDonald, if at all, this weekend.
Yeah.
And the Mustangs are back on offense.
And are they still on the power play?
No.
No, all evened up here.
Must have been time expired there, and it was a face-off, so penalty would end just before the quarter. Vanderzon managing to keep his, or Jacob Hickey, keeping his balance. I thought he was barrel rolling for sure.
I did too, especially because, I mean, you normally kind of windmill your arms to keep yourself upright. You can't do it with the.
It was a great duck walk. But good job by him to slow himself down.
And he's a D guy in box primarily, but amazing results offensively as well for the Toronto Beaches. And that's a great save by Joseph Beam, who has been a difference maker. I mean, he's made 3-4 really good stops.
Yeah, we've seen that from him all weekend, especially in tight. This tournament, you really have to make all the ones you should and a couple that you shouldn't to give your team a chance. Ryan
Badura went for a run, leaves it there. And Rowan Burrell taking his time will go to Simon. It's a low-scoring season in CUFLA. The West in particular, Western, perhaps maybe the lowest total number of goals allowed ever in a season. And that, I went back and looked through a bunch, through about 20 years, and that includes seasons where teams played 8 or 6 games.
Yeah, really impressive.
Amazing. Sidearm rip, and that's a beauty by Erbstein.
Big cannon on the run there down the alley. Catches Orlando on that far post. And you'll see Erbstein come right from the top here, get a big run. See the Western defender there just wasn't able to get a bump in. Usually those defenders on that dodge are trying to get the stick on the hips, just push the guy off the line towards the sidelines. No contact there, so it made it pretty good pathway there for Erbstein to get on the lane that he wanted and fire that ball.
We saw 3 goals very similar to that by, was it Mitchell Zulian that scored those for Brock against Trent? Somebody, or was it?
Zulian had a couple just sort of stand and load up.
Yeah, might have been, maybe it was Patterson coming across, who did have a hat trick as well for Brock against Trent, but just, boy, that on the run, across the body can be such a difficult shot to make accurately. And, that makes it hard for a goalie when it's off on that far hip.
Yeah, just trying to get the stick down in time. Challenging for sure.
Erbstein lobs one over. That's going to be too far for Isaiah Cree, and Western will get possession on the pass out of bounds. You can see the difference in the ride here. McGill very much dropping back. There's lots of space. There's just not the same kind of pressure.
Yeah, McGill likes to zone ride across the middle there, just jam it up.
If you're going to do that, you want to take away that chance to run right through that Krista Silva just had. Over to Mark Smorenberg, who had a couple yesterday for the Mustangs. Hickey thought about going to X, decides to come back up to Smorenberg. He's watched at the top by Maverick Hozil.
2 short sticks up top there. See if they try to get them isolated on the far side of your screen. Hickey's got a physical matchup there in Haber.
McGill packing back in, Beam, another save. Comes up looking for the pass, but everyone back close to him at that point. There's nowhere to pass it initially. Now he's going to toss it out to Ab. Louis-Antoine Ab gets it forward, and pretty easy little clear for them relatively.
See that Western has brought 3 poles right up to the top there. Short stick defenders coming in.
You can see how much wider spread Western's D is than McGill's. McGill really packing back in. Does that mean he's picking the flag up and there's no penalty? There was a flag on the field, then the ref picked it up and kind of waved it.
Yeah, McGill's got 6 out there. Must have just been a procedure call.
Okay.
Giving possession back to the Mustangs.
Hickey to Dong, slowing things down.
We got to get the capability where we go Wes McCauley, get the refs mic'd up.
Yeah. We'll work on that for next season. I'm not sure we'll get it for the second half. Hickey on Ab. Hands off Cardiff. Throws a one-hopper that Murphy nicely handles with the chest control. Flips it over to Dong.
Good Murphy. Murphy there with great vision.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice job, though, by Preston Norris to be ready and out there for it. You see he's back up on Dong, but boy, that could have been a shooting chance for Dong if he'd had time to shoot right away. A little more space. And from behind the net, Hickey now. So many of these Western players can go play different roles.
Oh, absolutely. And you can see just scanning the field.
Yeah.
Helmet turned around, good vision.
Big collision on that ride will lead to another turnover. Kasnijelski. Oh, great trail play by Abra. Just get in the way of that pass. Bounces off of him and out of play. He's arguing, but there's not much question. That was off him and out of play on the pass. So I think maybe he thinks they were saying it was a shot, and that's why Western backed up. Or maybe he thinks he was there first. It doesn't matter if it's a pass and it goes off you. Western slowing it down. Here's Smorenberg.
Setting it up here. They get their last guy out. Gain in the field here. Looks like McGill's going back into their backer zone.
That's Scott Burley taking number 49. I'm not sure we've actually seen him on the field yet this weekend. So Western, I know their coaches said they're going to be trying a bunch of different things they've been working on, running through a few ideas that they think are going to work in this game. Right now it's 1-1 and quite a battle.
McGill's packed in there tight. Western will look to flood the zone here and see if they can get a shot off. Some quick passes.
That one was blocked out front, almost snagged in front by Murphy. He would have been wide open on top of the crease, but nice job by McGill to disrupt that a little bit, and it's a fresh 60. And that was blocked out front. I'm not sure why they got a reset. McGill didn't possess it. Did you think they? I don't know.
Somebody did, because they gave him the reset, so
Well, yeah.
go again.
Take you over to Cardiff. You see, with McGill back so deep, there's always white jerseys in the way.
Yeah.
Meeks gets out there. Here's Hickey.
You'll see Western here try to just drag and dump it over.
Grabbed by Meeks. He's going to go down, and we see a flag.
Holding. So that'll be a 30-second technical.
Looks like Smorenberg going.
Meeks was spinning around there, just trying to evade the defenders and escape, and ended getting held up. So we'll see McGill go on the power play here for 30 seconds. Technical penalty.
Chance for them to pull ahead here well into the second quarter.
Low-scoring game here, halfway through the second. Only 2 goals thus far.
Chance, they looked like it might be a shot that was tipped away by Mass.
Great stick there.
Yeah.
So the Western defenders trying to get in the passing lanes and shooting lanes.
Cree off the post. That one got out of the playing field in a hurry, and we're back to even strength. You can see racing in is Chris Dong to join the defense.
Big kill there for the Western Mustangs. Burrell has Kaz on him now. Not the normal matchup. Mass is there waiting.
Nice strip. Kozlowski comes away with it, and he's going for a run. They even adjust the helmet as he's on path up into the offensive zone, spins away.
Good wheels there.
Yeah. He and Moralia heading off. Murphy sees that De Silva's covered, so he'll skip pass. Gets it all the way up to Max Brook.
Looks like McGill's switching up their defense again. Going more man-to-man here.
They've got 7 guys out there. They're not switching, just going with a little extra.
Yep, 3 guys on.
There's the save by Bean.
Side. We saw that yesterday, too.
Yeah.
7 on the field.
Yeah.
Didn't get called. There was a...
Oh, it took a whole time, and they scored, right?
Yeah.
This time, I mean, it's funny because I was counting. I was like, wait a second. Nobody's going. Counted, and I counted once more just to be sure. And as I got to 7 the second time, the flag went up. So I think the ref and I were in lockstep on our counting.
See, we might get that second half referee, and we're already got the telepathy going here.
Right.
We just need the fans to be able to be here and mic'd up.
Part of it, yeah.
Cardiff moves into the middle here.
Sometimes if you're just brazen enough, like he was just running out to play, they just think, oh, they were short. They didn't have a guy up, but no, it was the 7th. There's Hickey down low. De Silva quickly back to Hickey. De Silva ducks underneath. Nicely picked up there. Slide there from Logan Glick.
Quick ball movement here from the Mustangs.
Hickey sidearm pass right on top. Murphy, what a save beam.
Oh,
and save post.
wow.
Cardiff can't believe it.
Cardiff from his knees with a mini stick shot there. Just goes off the crossbar.
Wow. I mean, it's so, you look at this and you see Michael Orlando in almost a game and a half has given up a total of 2 goals, and Joseph Beam might be out playing.
He's making some stops.
I mean, you can't play a lot better than Orlando has, but holy cow, Beam has been challenged.
Yeah, he's got a lot of shots, seen a lot of rubber here this weekend. And he's made the saves when it's counted too, right? That really helped McGill in that Guelph game to weather the storm there. There was a couple power plays at the end, and he was able to turn them away.
John Gregg with the big loose ball picker, ground ball in the offensive zone, and then the LSM heads off. Hard to really identify an LSM necessarily for Western. They rotate their long poles through. They just have a lot of talented athletic defenders. And
yeah, big depth.
just play at all the positions.
McGill going back to their zone here, staying nice and tight. Darren Western shoot from outside. Big shot there. That'll be a Western backup ball.
Yeah, Kersey was trying to get that quick underhand. Just missed the net on it. They've got 34 seconds left on the shot clock. Again, it's an 80-second shot clock, 20 to get across center. Then on a reset, it is a 60-second clock. So tons of time with the 60 seconds. But does make a difference. We don't see teams just go and hide in the corner for 7 or 8 minutes, as has happened in the past.
Yeah, really changed up the strategy and how you're going to get through the game.
Certainly makes it a more fan-friendly game.
Another save there by Beam.
And a good pickup by Badur on that loose ball and under some duress.
And that defense just shows the confidence that McGill has in Beam, sitting back and, the shooters that Western have and trusting him to make those saves.
We have a timeout taken by McGill. That's the first of the game for anybody with 2:04 to go in the first half. A 1-1 game. Really come into play in a close game. We saw Carleton pushing back late in the game with a few goals in the final couple of minutes to go from 10-5 to 10-8. I think things a little bit nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it's not over till it's over on this weekend.
McGill came through that one. They're trying to come through another game. There's a pass down to X. Simon puts that shoulder down and just blasts through Michael Wilson. Wilson, pretty good job staying with him. And they go over to Cree. 38 on the shot clock. A minute 38 on the half. That rip was well off the target. Plenty of power behind it from Erbstein, but just too high.
About 30 on the shot clock here. Cree looking to swing the ball.
Go up top to Owen Howard. Depth is so important, and Howard's a guy that we haven't seen play a ton, but he's one of those players who can just step in and play a solid role. It doesn't hurt you going in, which is so important. As McGill has lamented, they've talked about how many injuries they've had and how that's affected them. Burrell can't make the catch. It is grabbed by Sam Vanderzam.
He's having himself a tournament, too.
Oh,
He's so good
really
back there.
He really is.
And as we've talked about all weekend, you don't use them, you lose them.
Yeah.
Western calls their first of 2 timeouts with 54 seconds on the clock. And we'll see what they draw up here. Well, more than enough time on the shot clock.
Yeah, 71 on the shot clock and 54.3 on the game clock, so they can take it down for a last shot here if they wish.
A lot of strategy coaches will implore is whatever defense they have been playing when a team calls a timeout, they'll flip it. If they've been playing man, they'll move to a zone. If they've been playing a zone, they'll move to a man. Just figuring that, the coaches will draw up a play for whatever defense they face. So it'll be interesting because we've seen McGill flip-flop back and forth here, what they come out of this timeout with.
Also interesting to see how Western goes. I mean, I'm always an advocate of not always, but in many cases, I like to go when there's a good chance. I don't necessarily say, hey, let's wait for 2 or 3 seconds left and shoot, or 4 or 5 seconds, 5 or 6 in field because there's so much farther to go than you'd worry about in box. But I don't know. I mean, a lot of times guys do like to wait right till the end, not give any chance for the ball to go the other way.
Yeah, and more of a momentum thing there.
Yeah.
Especially being in a 1-1 game. There's nothing worse than you throw a pizza at the goalie 5 seconds in transition.
Yeah.
Like you can get that ball end-to-end in 5 seconds. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens here. Looks like McGill's flipped to man-to-man here.
Yeah, draws them well out farther as Western has a couple of players. That's Hickey and De Silva playing catch. Far from the environs of the crease. Down to 35 seconds. Still lots of time for them to use.
Cardiff with a short stick on him.
That's Chris Coran on him. There's the other short stick, the SSDM. Ab. Nice move by Hickey, but a great recovery by Ab.
Hickey doing a good job at just changing his pace.
Oh, he slips in the middle. De Silva thought about it for a moment. I don't know that he was available. Here's Dong. He's going to let that one go. Scores! With 3.3 seconds left. I think that was a hybrid of the first really good opportunity and well late in the clock.
Wow. I mean, you can't really draw it up better than that. You call your timeout. 3 seconds to go. Face-off at that point is pretty much irrelevant, but great job setting it up. Beats the first slide around and is able to go low to high, changing his plane there to make no mistake, tucking that one right underneath the bar. That was a howitzer. He really let that one go.
Liam O'Dwyer back out for the draw here for Western. Up against Sam McDonald. One of the least important face-offs you'll take in a game with 3.3 seconds to go. That seems a bit of a stretch to try and get a shot on net, especially when you're going to tangle it up for the whole 3.3 seconds. No winner, no loser. They have a little glove tap, and they will go to the break. It is Western 2, McGill 1. A very exciting half of lacrosse. Don't tell us defensive lacrosse can't be a lot of fun, because you see that it is. I'm Stephen Stamp with Jeff McKinley. Thanks for being with us at the Baggataway Cup 2023 on Lacrosse TV. We'll be back with the second half. Make sure you join us. Welcome back to Lacrosse Friends. Sorry about the delay. We had a little bit of a technology crash going on, so we missed a little bit of the halftime in the first minute and a half here of the third quarter. And what you've missed in that minute and a half, two fantastic plays by Kaz Najelski for Western, number 8, their defender. And now the Mustangs into the offensive zone, and Chris Dong thinking about letting it rip to try and extend that 2-1 lead that the Mustangs have over the McGill Redbirds here in the championship game. Nice backup there by Kersey, and the Mustangs will retain possession with a dozen seconds now as play gets going, still on the shot clock. De Silva, what a great job sliding over there and then knocking it down. That's a nice play by Lorenzo Costello for McGill.
Big save there from Beam again.
Oh!
And again on himself.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so first of all, he knocks it down and is rolling towards the net. And then he doesn't rake. He just scoops towards it. And I thought he was going to poke it right into the net. I still remember last year there was the one play, the one goalie had the ball just kind of fall out of his stick and roll in. And it turned out to be pretty crucial. And, oh, you feel so badly for a player in that circumstance.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You never want to see that happen. Being a goalie is a hard enough job in field lacrosse without an unfortunate error like that happening.
And Beam just pretty calm, scooping that ball up. I would have been just stopping it first and then getting it back. Hey, that's why he is
poised.
Little hand switch and the rip in the goal. Erbstein with a rocket down low. And Western, they are coming together. You can see Michael Wilson calling them all in. And I think they're a little surprised that they left that wide of a shooting lane.
Yeah, and we haven't seen from this Western defense that they've been pretty smothering. Clearly just some sort of communication out there for them where nobody closed out on him. And Erbstein has an absolute bomb if you let him shoot. So he had time to wind up there and put it where he wanted. And that ties us up at 2, 4 minutes into the third.
Yeah, drops the head of the stick for the low to low. And what a beauty that was.
Seen a little bit more competitive face-off play here today. We missed there in that technology issue that Western was able to pull it back again.
That's Aiden Colbrook back out for Western, but Sam McDonald, as he has done so many times, I mean, the picture on the story on the CUFLA.ca website of the semifinals yesterday was McDonald popping the ball out to himself and running it down. Could have been a recreation of that last face-off he did. He is out there playing some defense after having thrown the pass away. Big collision. There was not much to the liking of Vandersam.
Unfortunate little flip pass there after he won it and gives the Mustangs back possession here.
Yeah.
Western trying to get a call there, looking for a penalty, and they are not going to get it.
Max Brook up at the top. Got Corin up on him.
Western doing a lot of off-ball movement here. Try and get open.
A lot of guys cutting in opposite directions, kind of running the defenders into each other. But McGill doing a pretty good job of avoiding the collisions, really communicating well. So important, obviously, to be talking. 17 on the shot clock as Western gets rolling again on that reset, on the restart. Down to 10 seconds.
Western playing a 3-2-1 here. See what they can get out of that stack.
Sidearm shot, no problem for Beam. That was 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Had to try and get one off there. Not too much on it from Murphy.
Yeah, just looking to draw and dump that inside to get a quick one. And this Western ride again. All over the Redbird clear here. And it's going to be Mustangs ball. They have just done a tremendous job yesterday and today, the Western Mustangs, in pressuring opponents when trying to get the ball out of their own end.
And as a unit, right? I mean, offensively, they work so well as a group. Defensively, so well as a group. On the ride, so well as a group. It's great systems that these guys apply very, very well. Credit to Chris Standish and his staff for a lot of the work they have done here to make this team so difficult to play against wherever you are in the field. Here's Hickey. He'll flip it back over to Dong.
See the Mustangs now trying to flood into those seams of the zone. Draw a guy in to be able to dump it off.
Oh, nice save by Beam as Western kind of got McGill chasing a little bit. You haven't seen that kind of confusion, I think, in the McGill defense. And they were sort of, it almost seemed like they were all half a step behind what was going on that one. And now Beam's going to go. If he goes and scores here, I'm going to put him in the Baggataway Hall of Fame. I mean, he's going to throw it back. Probably a good decision. Isaiah Cree pulls down. He is fired up. Nothing quite like a goalie coming over center to get everybody fired up. At least on the right side underneath us of the stands, the McGill side. On the left, they weren't enjoying that much.
Yeah, you don't see the CUFLA goalie goal too much.
No.
John Hiltz did it twice.
When was that?
2010, maybe. I think he had won at Queens and he had won at Bishops.
Wow.
I believe one of the McGill goalies years ago also got one. But yeah, you don't see it a whole lot. That's you're way from your home when you're over that half.
Oh, yeah. And you definitely don't want somebody taking a quick shot if you do give it up and start running back. Here's Erbstein, watched by Hickey. Slips by him, gets the lefty shot. That one's blocked out front. Boy, McGill takes away angles and space. Now they're blocking shots, too. That was, I think, Michael Wilson that got in the way of that one. Nijelski in there helping out, and Orlando with the outlet pass. Hickey on the run. Mustangs have some numbers. Hickey fakes giving it off. Now he goes far side. Dong quickly to Cardiff. Oh, and Murphy is robbed there by Beam.
We haven't seen a lot of transition today like we have the rest of the weekend. A lot of passes there from Western. Yeah, you wonder, like, just there was a couple chances. Cardiff had that too, like down on that down on the crease. Maybe giving it too much time, or the way Beam has had any sort of time to be able to react, he's been stopping it. So getting a quick one here would likely be advantageous.
Yeah, I mean, and again, the longer the underdog stays with the favorites, the more confidence they build.
See Western here playing tough defense. That ball may stay in.
Yep. Nicely handled there on the far side by Corin. Or sorry, by Luke Dawick.
Wow. Vandersalm's done a great job.
Yeah.
Gets his stick in the lane.
Yeah. He's been unbelievable. Western pushing it again. Oh, and the pass gets away from Murphy. A little sidearm attempt. Didn't quite work out for Landon Mass, who's had a great tournament.
Couple chops there on the old ride. The referee's
quite
not
a spot.
gonna call it.
I thought the flag might fly on that last one as Murphy just took a
pretty
whip
good
to the
two-hander.
hip. Yeah. Here's Josh Jewell just waiting for someone else to come on, and they do get their sixth attacker out. Yeah, Owen Howard.
Just looking to get a bump in there. Give him a little push, get him off his line.
Pass out to Cree. That one's wide, and it will be McGill possession. They didn't have anybody back there, so again, Orlando trying to race back and get possession for them.
Western defenders do such a good job at just making that V as the guys try to roll the net there and keeping them out. Good closeout by the Western defense. Really applying pressure. There's the double quick.
Oh, what a rip. Sidearm, absolute rocket, firing it home is John Moralia, and I'm not sure how many people saw McGill ahead in the late stages of the third quarter.
Absolutely. I mean, the way that we all watched the dominance from the Western Mustangs yesterday, you know, they would have been the early favorite coming in here. But like you'd said, you know, the longer that you hang around, there's that confidence. Western will want that one back for sure, but I'm going to suspect that the Mustangs aren't going anywhere here today.
No. The one thing, Western hasn't had a lot of close games this year. They've won most of their games pretty handily. I mean, honestly, 4 or 5 goals. 4 goals is the closest they've had in any of their games except September 30th at home. They're playing the Laurier Golden Hawks, who had a great season, really bumped things up, and the Hawks got within 1 goal. Western won that one 5-4, and so they can deal with some adversity, and they're trying right here. That pass to Murphy. Oh, he's got that one.
Makes
Connor Murphy, yeah, that's beautiful. Takes a lovely pass on that one as he is set up. Was that Liam O'Dwyer?
Yeah, big face-off win, pushes it down the field. And I think that's what Western's got to do here. You know, like, they're so talented, but they're taking a couple too many passes there. That Connor Murphy made no mistake there. Like, I'm just putting this home.
Yeah.
Gets it 3-3 real quick.
3 minutes to go in the third.
Another big face-off coming here for both teams. Try and keep the momentum. We've seen pretty lopsided face-off play here thus far this weekend, and this has been a pretty even battle here today.
Vanderzam is down and clutching his leg. It's going to be McGill possession, and that could be devastating. Well, I mean, Western's got so much depth, but Vanderzam's such a big part of everything that they do.
Yeah, that adds insult to the injury there. Going hard for the loose ball, and then it's going McGill way here. He's a tough kid, though. I'm sure he'll be back out in no time here.
Interesting, in Western's close game this year, it was the game against Laurier. They actually went up, they led 1-0 after the first, 4-0 at the half, and then got the first goal of the third quarter. So they were up 5-0 in that game, and Laurier just kind of chipped away at it. So interesting to see how this is for them being in a game where they're in it the whole way. And I mean, this McGill team, very resilient.
Yeah, it's always tough, the CUFLA scoreboard, because you never know. In some of those games, you get up 5, you know, where rookies come in, as the bench guys coming in, which you need to build depth. Fast break
Hickey
here.
on the run, hands it off. They go back down low to Acursi, who spins and shoots as he's falling. Murphy has been quiet, but now a goal and that pass to set up Acursi, and the Mustangs bounce back and take the lead in a hurry.
Well, I said it 10 minutes ago that we haven't seen a lot of transition, and both teams heard me and said, okay, well, here we go.
Yep.
Nice hitch there. Comes around. Cardiff heads up play just in case he missed, backing up that shot and getting a foot below the GLE. We got another big face-off coming here. Colebrook back in there. Donald pops it forward. Kaznichelski with just a heads-up play. Can't go over that restraining line, but his offensive check, was down a little bit further, and he got his feet right up there. As soon as he gets possession, he can cross over, getting the Mustangs another well-needed possession here on offense.
Pretty nice blend of athleticism, skill, and intelligence for Nijelski, eh?
Oh, he's having a day. He's playing great here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rules in field lacrosse, and you can really see these senior level players that they are not only great athletes and talented, but understanding the rules of the game can really give you an advantage with that lacrosse IQ on the field.
Under 30 in the quarter, and more time than that on the shot clock, so Western can take a last shot if they like. That one gets away from Murphy. It's going to be stopped by Kersey, but then he is tapped. I think that's going to be McGill possession. That's a great play. I think that was Coran who went and just kind of chopped down on Kersey's stick as he tried to stop the ball, so it let it roll out. And they're going to rip one down the length of the field, and Orlando had to be alert for that one to stop it before it could bounce in at the final second.
That was a laser beam. He
sailed
that.
What a blast. So through 45 minutes of not a lot of scoring, the last few minutes were the where things start to pick up. We'll see what happens when we come back for the final quarter of the 2023 Baggataway Cup Championship. I'm Steven Stamp with Jeff McKinley. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you in 2 minutes. Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the 2023 Baggataway Cup. 15 minutes to decide a champion. The Western Mustangs and the McGill Redbirds. It's 4-3 for Western. I'm Steven Stamp with Jeff McKinley, and this is exciting. And Sam McDonald gets it, but a great job there from Ethan Gomes. And here we go on the run. Liam O'Dwyer. Oh, great trail check. What a job there by Olivier Pomerleau. A little self-conscious of the French pronunciations because we've got Jessica Impie, who's from McGill and a fluent French speaker. And it's just so lovely when she says the names. I feel like I'm anglicizing Olivier Pomerleau, etc., even when I don't mean to. But what a game for this McGill club from Montreal against the London-based Western Mustangs. It used to be the University of Western Ontario just a few years ago. I guess that switched up, right?
Yep.
You look on the Baggataway Cup, and that string from 2016 to 2019, they won it every year, and it still said University of Western Ontario. So I think it's quite recent. This is Simon coming from the back. Watched nicely by Mass.
And
Michael
Western,
Wilson.
7 titles to their name, and 2 were in the 80s. 1 was 2001, and then that string that came 2016 to 19.
Boy, there were some great finals in that one, too. The 2 double overtime championship games
Brock.
against Brock.
Yeah, and then Trent sandwiched it on either side with losses.
Yep. On the run is Western, and coast to coast for a goal. Holy cow, Chris De Silva.
I'm surprised he has enough energy to celebrate.
Right?
Good Lord.
Oh,
He was cooking there.
I'd be reaching for the oxygen mask.
Yeah, and he's still jogging off, getting the boys pumped up. Look at his closing speed. Just runs directly past this McGill defender. Slide comes late, tucks her in, and makes no mistake.
There were so many things that could have gone wrong there.
So many.
And he just navigated everything.
Well, and that's like we've seen all weekend. Very hard to score 6-on-6 with these very good defenses, and transition goals have been absolutely huge. Big face-off again.
Still contested. Colebrook, a little bit of a push. Wins that battle with McDonald, but McGill comes away with it.
And what a different day in the face-off blue dot here at Trent's Field, Justin Chu Stadium. A lot of contested balls from the wing play and defenders waiting on the restraining line.
Yeah, Sam McDonald has been spectacular all weekend, but today, I mean, both the Western guys have been making it really challenging. As you've got Aiden Colebrook for the most part, but they're throwing Liam O'Dwyer in, and they're both doing a good job. And O'Dwyer actually helped set up the 1 goal.
He's been winning it pretty clean, yeah.
Yep. 5-3. Excuse me, first 2-goal lead of the game going to the Mustangs here.
Great job there.
Oh, yeah.
Mass is letting Burrell know. You can see him.
Yeah.
Heads moving. Very physical play from these Western defenders, too.
I was talking to the mothers of Landon Mass and Chris Dong from Western before. They were here over an hour before the game, close to an hour and a half, setting up in their spot because they felt they had a successful spot right down in front of us. You can see their toques just down below us, and they were there with nobody around them, setting up with their blankets and their coats. And
Amazing.
I actually went and got them a hot chocolate just before the game from the VIP tent because I was like, I admire your dedication to getting your spot to cheer your lads on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We all know that moms and dads put a lot of work in getting their kids their activities, and this is a big day for them to be able to come watch their young lads play.
I believe it's Jane and Marlene. Yeah, it's so nice to speak to a lot of the parents here. Like, they're so invested in what their kids are doing out on the field and in school, and it's great to get them to all come together for this celebration. And, you know, when you look at the stands here, it's a pretty full crowd, and the home team lost on Friday night.
Yeah, you don't see that a lot. It's a big difference when the host gets eliminated early, but yeah, it's a pretty good crowd out there today. Another turnover there.
Picked off by Mass. And here comes Michael Wilson. Again, lots of room for Western to operate. Now Wilson's going to run into a bit of traffic. He's just going to barrel through it. That makes it simple. It looked like he was in some difficulty, and he just made the run, and now he's a little slower going back. He didn't exactly Chris De Silva with the energy after the big play.
I mean, at that point, you got to commit, and you just got to go. The more you hesitate and slow down, you give those defenders riding a chance to get the angle on you. So good job by him to just go for it.
Up to Dong.
McGill's back in that backer zone.
Stick the one short stick right there. Jose in the middle of it. And just really don't let the Mustangs penetrate to get in there.
About 15 on the shot clock. Western trying to drag the defender out to get a quick shot.
There's one by Accursi, but it's wide. Just 6 seconds left for Western to get a shot off here. As Cardiff will start with it, flips it up quickly to Dong, and he's just going to let it go, and Beam has no trouble with that one.
Pretty juicy rebound there, but McGill was able to lap it up. Hosiel with the loose ball there.
6 minutes into the fourth quarter, and Western has established a little bit of a lead. They're just going to rip that one the length of the floor as they were getting late in the 20 seconds and had to just get it over. And that's a big change you've seen in the play where you can't just linger about in your own end.
No. The defensive stall is rare, but it does happen.
Yeah.
But that 20-second clear rule that's come in has really sped the game up.
I'm a big fan. I like getting it moving. Don't just let people stand around.
Absolutely. It gets the defensive players involved. We've seen so many talented defenders over the years that, the long poles can get up over half and contribute on the scoreboard as well.
Here comes Dong once again.
Western content with just working it outside.
Lots of time on the shot clock, and that one's picked off and taken off with his Ryan Bador. That forecheck pressure from, and now we have a penalty coming. Is that a slash?
It's like a slash
on John Meeks.
See, they were working the ball around there and sent Cardiff cutting from the far side, trying to get in the middle of the zone. Looks like McGill is taking a timeout here.
Yeah.
As they go on the man down.
So trailing by 2, the Redbirds have really stayed close in this game, and now they've got to kill this penalty and then turn the attention back to the offensive side. But, I mean, what a great contest this has been, and really kind of spoiled with great lacrosse this weekend.
Oh, it's been fantastic. It's always amazing when you get the two divisions together. There's not any crossover during the year, so you never really know what you're going to get competition-wise with the no overlap. So we've seen some really good lacrosse this weekend. CUFLA just has a wealth of talent involved in it, and it's nice to see these teams out here competing and having a championship within a couple goals here. So we'll see. It's a big one for both. McGill would love to get the kill here, and Western would love to put another one on the board with just over 7 minutes to go.
There are certain points in a game where it just feels like the next goal is huge.
Absolutely.
That's right now.
Yeah. Make that, we talked about this yesterday a little bit with Carleton, and, there's that point where the opponent also becomes the clock. And so Western being able to convert here would really help them.
Yeah, what a difference it would be 6-3 versus 5-4 as
Absolutely.
the time ticks away. We approach the midpoint of this fourth quarter here at Justin Hughes Stadium on Trent University.
See Will Carndiff's in the middle, mirroring where the ball goes.
Got Hickey up at the top, over to Dong. that trio, the power trio of all Canadian midfielders, just controlling the play up here. Maneuvering, down to De Silva, up to Hickey, over to Dong. There they are, all three of them. Then Brooke gets it back to Dong. He blasts one, and Joseph Beam, it's like that was just being lobbed over to him.
Yeah, they've done a good job of forcing the outside shot.
He's seeing the ball so well, and here blasting forward. Louis-Antoine Abre. That was a bit of a close little pass. He just
missed it.
I thought it was going to get picked off by John Gregg.
Yeah, these Western defenders do a tremendous job of getting in the passing lanes. We've seen a lot of knockdowns here today. So big kill there by the Redbirds.
Again, McGill missing their top scorer from the season, Dylan James, who had 40 points. He had 22 goals. And the next highest scoring player on the team, Rowan Burrell, had 24 points.
Right.
And James also led them in assists. So it's huge for him to be out. They would love to have him. They feel, I'm sure, like they'd have more than 3 goals. But they've got to do something to spring Rowan Burrell because he has been the big guy all weekend. But today, what a job by Western to limit his opportunities.
Yeah, we fully expected that coming
Oh,
in.
my
Just
goodness.
Limit the hot hand.
How about that one by Landon Mass covering Burrell and then reaching over with his stick upside down and almost catching the ball, but stopping. Like, that's an incredible play.
Tremendous day also from 32 for the Western Mustangs out there. Controls the play.
Yeah, rolls it over to Hickey. Lots of time on the shot clock. And Western, again, they're not going to retract the claws per se, but they're certainly...
They're going to set it up here. They're going to use the clock.
They have a sense of how to use that time to their advantage.
It really does become such a big part late in the game when it's close. Strategically, coaching-wise, what do you do? How do you do it? What's the execution?
Because if you just stop pushing, it's hard to go back to it. But look at De Silva on the run. What a game. He is the man of the second half. 2 huge goals. He didn't have to run quite as far on that one, but still a beautiful little run for him.
I'd say it was about the same clip that he was moving there, but he gets over the top here. Nice little in and out. There's no slide, and he's able to just torque it far side hip there. We've seen that beam like really low or up high. He's been able to make it, so maybe a little bit of a different setup there and trying to get offside hip there. Big face-off here. I think we got O'Dwyer coming out again. Big face-off for both teams.
And they've been pretty interchangeable, those Western guys. And O'Dwyer have a very a leaning approach as opposed to the bending down, but he pulls it back, and it looked like it was going to be tapped ahead by Nijelski, and they call the procedure.
So
Did
he
he
stepped
have his
on
foot
the
on
line.
the line? Yeah.
Yep.
He's wondering. He's throwing the palms up, but I think the stick was fine. It was just the toes, as you mentioned.
He got all of it, though. He pulled out his sand wedge there and gave her a tap.
Yep.
They'll want to get a bump in here on Erpstein, not let him shoot.
He's been dangerous all weekend, and really a couple big goals today, 2 of their 3. Cree gets it across to Simon. He thought about going to Burrell. He's going to go back to the far side instead. McGill once again, as they have done so much of the weekend, 5 righties out there.
And Erbstein wants to get to that right-handed shot. Western defenders doing a good job of limiting that. Mass closing right out on Burrell there. He's not shining too far away from him. Head's on a swivel. Erbstein going to try his luck again. Goes to his left. Dump down to Cree.
Cree's going to come and find Burrell. See what he can do. He's got one of his first chances, and he's just stripped by Landon Mass.
Landon Mass has done a tremendous job.
Oh, but they score. Just like that, Moralia kind of comes out of nowhere, and you can see he's saying, let's go, let's go, let's go. There's another 38 seconds of running time. So we'll basically just get the face-off going, and then as play gets moving, we'll be into the stop time. And Western having some discussions with players like, wait, we have to sort out what we're doing. We need to take some time before this face-off.
Yeah, we talked a little bit yesterday that you need about a minute a goal, and this sets us up here for a dandy in the final 2 minutes. Procedure call there. I'm not sure what they called, but the face-off was not taken, and McGill will get the ball.
It's huge. And Josh Jewell will take possession and watched by Chris Dong.
Screen coming.
Yep. That one's knocked down by Mass.
Quick whistle there. Western applying pressure everywhere.
McGill up at the top. They've got lots of time on the shot clock. Not lots of time in the game clock is the thing.
Great clamp there by Kaz. He is having himself a day. Oh, and
that's
going to
be a penalty to Burrell. He runs over Sam Vanderzam.
You know that Vanderzam had no problem taking that hit for the boys there.
Absolutely.
That'll be a 1 minute penalty too with 1:23 to go. You can see Jacob Hickey coming on the field here, telling everybody to spread out.
Yeah, and this is where, you get into the final minute 23. Western has 60 seconds to work with on the shot clock. They can eat up a whole bunch of it, and
there's no stall call when there's a penalty. You'll see that they're sending one to Chase right now.
That's tough when you're shorthanded, but you got to get out. I mean, you just open yourself up. At this point, you have to probably, as McGill, just trust Joseph Beam, although he is out picking up Max Brook.
They're playing 6-on-6, and they'll look to go for a little run here. You're shooting on that empty net. You better make sure that it goes in. We've seen a couple times this weekend, and usually if a defender can make that play or you miss, then it's coming back the other way. 30 seconds now. Carndiff's got it.
Oh, what a rip. Murphy. He has been content to play a supporting role in this tournament, but he has really stepped up big in the second half here, and that is going to pretty much lock things up.
Yeah.
So with 24.4 seconds to go.
Another big face-off here. Although the math, as we've talked about, hasn't worked out, and it looks like the Western Mustangs are on their way to putting a new stat in the history books. Third time the teams have met, and they will take their first victory against them, avenging the 2012 loss here to the McGill Redbirds.
Remember Brendan Chess, defensive coach for Western, he was saying before the game, he very much remembers losing 7-6 in overtime to McGill here on the Trent University campus back in 2012. that is avenged. The Mustangs are back on the Baggataway Cup after their run of 4 straight from 16 to 19. They are your 2023 Baggataway Cup champions.
Really good game here today between these two teams. Came down to the end there. Western picking up the 8th title for their school. And the team with the top record in all of CUFLA takes the Baggataway Cup home this year. It doesn't always work out that way. We've seen many a time teams go undefeated in the regular season and get bounced in this tournament even before the final day. So the Mustangs and their coaching staff will be happy. You can see there's lots of Purple alumni here that are going to be happy. And the McGill Redbirds in their 6th time in the championship will stay status quo at 2 championships. We'll have Commissioner Fox out here shortly to do the trophy presentation with the 2023 champions.
Yeah, Scott Fox, the incoming commissioner, he takes over the role today from Kevin Kaplis. We thanked Kevin a few times over the weekend, but thanks once again. I know he is tuning in Spain to the best of the ability that his Wi-Fi is letting him.
Yeah.
But apparently they don't have Wi-Fi in Spain.
To err is human. To really screw up, you do need technology.
Yeah, right. We do apologize for, we missed for a minute and a half of the second half, but we saw all the key moments here in this game. You can hear we are the champions. The Mustangs are celebrating, and what a program they've had for so long. And I mean, Jeremy Talevi for years and years, and then Chris Standish has come in and just maintained the level of a hyper-competitive team. And for McGill, they lose 7-4. They were right in it the whole way. I don't know how many people gave them a real chance to win today, given they were underdogs and the injuries on top of it. But man, they were there. They were there to the end.
They hung around, and at the end of the day, Western showed why they were 9-1 this year, and they were able to just stay poised. You could really see that at the end there. Like, they never really got too high or too low. They kind of just kept going, and even yesterday they methodically put up 9 goals and just chipped away. But their defense, oh my goodness, Western played physical, they played tough. They had success today in doing what the other team struggled with, which was shutting down Rowan Burrell, and Mass just did a fantastic job. All of their defense played very well. They were able to transition the ball and get it out, and did so just with laser focus.
Now they'll go and join each other at center field for handshakes. You can see the respect. Look at Michael Orlando and Joseph Beam. And you can tell McGill are disconsolate. They're disappointed, but boy, they should keep their heads up high. We will have the player of the game presentations made shortly. We're going to have the All Baggataway Cup team after that, and then the presentation of the championship trophy and banner.
I mean, this is the way that you wish all seniors could go out.
Yeah.
Winning a Baggataway Cup. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way for most of the graduating players. But I know guys like Michael Orlando and Greg will be happy to be going out this way.
We never got back to the Michael Orlando story. So I was talking about this with their coaches before the game. So his rookie year was 2019.
Right.
They still had Manraj Najjar, who was a star from the time he got there.
Right.
Won 3 straight championships. They come back as defending champions. Figure they've got Manny Najjar for the season. He was dealing with a bit of an injury early, so they were playing some different players in that. But Orlando was a rookie on that team. Didn't play. Didn't get any minutes. And then he actually broke his thumb in preseason training, in training camp. So he missed the first month of the season, and then as a rookie joins the club, and Manny Najjar gets injured right before the Baggataway Cup, and it would have actually been probably during the Man Cup, but before the Baggataway Cup, Najjar gets hurt. and Orlando has to win. They've got to make a decision. Which guy do we play?
Right.
Orlando goes in as a rookie playing his first full game in the semifinal of the Baggataway Cup, wins. The next day comes back, wins again, and is a champion as a first-year player. And now that's why they're saying they want to bookend his career with Baggataway. Wow, what a story. And look, he's number 1 there on the end of the line, and he is stoked. What a tournament.
Well, and I think I read that Western's only graduating 5 players, so they're going to have a lot of the roster returning.
Yeah, a lot of returning guys. They're going to be really good. We're going to move to our players of the game. It is supported by Champs Restaurant, by Hogtown Lacrosse, and by Locker Hooks. And we have Treasurer Mark Walker supporting Scott Fox as he presents McGill's player of the game to the goalie, Joseph Beam. I don't think there's much question. He was spectacular.
He made a lot of saves today and all weekend. Did a tremendous job.
Yeah. On the other side, holy cow. How do you pick from among all these Western players? Never an easy job, obviously, but probably a big factor was playing the second half. Some big change-making plays, right?
Yeah.
Chris De Silva from Western.
I mean, it contributed all game, but those big plays, those couple goals at the end there where it was kind of deadlocked. I mean, he ran 80 yards, beat a couple guys, went through the defense, and started the momentum to help propel his team to victory here today.
Yeah, very well deserved. I mean, there's so many guys that could have gotten that award. And we will have the presentation of the All Baggataway Cup team. And this is, guys who just really stood out. And Rowan Burrell had a tough time. He's just been named from McGill. But what a huge weekend he had.
He had 10 goals total.
Sorry, we're flying through here. So we've got Jaden Patterson from Brock, along with Burrell and Robbie Baxter of 12. We're the attack All Baggataway Cup players. The midfielders, Chris Dong here from Western, as well as Chris De Silva, and then Alex Erbstein from McGill.
Couple goals today for Erbstein.
Yeah. The face-off guy was Sam McDonald from McGill. He was fantastic. Short stick DM may have been the hardest one to pick because Louis-Antoine Abra was fantastic from McGill, but Sam Vanderzom, just a difference maker.
Oh, he had a huge day today. He was playing great defense, loose balls, picking passes off, transition. He did very well.
Our LSM was Liam McCrimmon from Brock. He just played fantastic. And on defense, a couple of these Western players. Kaz Nijelski, who was just amazing today. Landon Mass, who was fantastic all weekend. Like 2 just outstanding games.
Outstanding.
And Ben McDonald from Trent, the host team, gets one on there, and he was great. He scored the goal of the tournament.
He did have a great goal. He big athletic body, big engine, and he played great in the Friday night game as well.
And then the goaltender, boy, another tough one. I mean, how do you not give it to Michael Orlando? But Joseph Beam just faced so many shots, so many challenges. Joseph Beam is the All Baggataway Cup goalie, and just amazing.
I'm sure that we will hear at some point how many saves he actually did make, and it definitely was a lot. You have the Western captains coming up here.
Yeah, you see Chris Dong, Jacob Hickey.
Wilson's up there, Michael Orlando.
Michael Wilson and Michael Orlando. So what a great group. There's the banner. The Baggataway Cup will be going back to London. They will get a plaque. What's the little thing that you put on? Why am I failing at words? The little thing that you put on with your name on it that you won each year.
Plate. Trophy plate.
The little
sure.
plate.
It'll get engraved with their name.
It'll get engraved with their name.
It'll say 2023.
For 2023. And look at them celebrating that Baggataway Cup. It became such a familiar sight to see those purple jerseys surrounding the Baggataway Cup for 4 years. And for them, everyone else, I'm sure, enjoyed Western not winning the rest of the league for a while. But for them, it seemed like a long time since they have done this celebration.
And it just shows you how hard it is to win. Like, perennially, you have teams that have winning records that are either perfect, 9-1, 8-2, 7-3. You know, and at the end of the weekend, only one team can be victorious. But it's a lot to get there throughout the season. It's a grind. 3 games in a weekend can be a grind. And even just having that bye on the Friday night, you're just waiting to play. It really comes down to you know, a lot of mental preparation too, because it's taxing for sure.
As the Mustangs enjoy this celebration, as Dong, they all take turns having a go with the trophy. They've got their family and fans and friends out on the turf on this edge very respectfully, watching from a distance and taking pictures. Just want to say thank you very much to the staff and everyone here at Trent University. What a great group we've gotten to work with for the last 2 years. It's a fantastic facility, great stadium, beautiful spot here on the Otonabee River, and they've been terrific hosts. Last year when they won the championship, and this year when they lost on Friday night, I think equal hospitality.
Oh, absolutely. Trent puts on a great show. A lot of volunteers, a lot of people performing roles to really make this work. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, so thank you to everybody that contributed. I mean, Peterborough, with all the events that we do host here, sporting-wise, you get a tremendous amount of support from the community, and you know, nobody's ever just throwing something together. It's always first class.
I want to thank the officials. Damian Roy was the head ref today. Nathaniel Morrow and Brad Garrow with him. The CBO was Darren Cassidy. We've also had Trevor Wilson and Luke Coyle. And to Mike Drake, the referee-in-chief, for working with us. It was just great job. I think they did a really good job. I mean, how often do we have to really question?
No, they did a fantastic job. And you know what, like the hardest thing for teams is when things are inconsistent. I think all the games this weekend were consistently called. Coaches and players knew what to expect. There was nothing that was questionable, and that lends itself to having a great championship.
And great weekend. Thank you so much, lacrosse friends, for being with us. And lastly, I just want to thank Jeff McKinley for coming back in. You jumped in last year, and you're here with us all weekend this year. And it's just been great having you and your knowledge and your passion for this game with us.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
We will let Western go and celebrate. We will go off and enjoy the rest of our evening. Hope you do as well, lacrosse friends. Thanks for being with us. I'm Stephen Staff for Jeff McKinley. For everyone here at Trent and from CUFLA, we will see you next time.